Hi, this is Zach Silbersher, and this is a Markman Minute. Qualcomm has been in the news again as investors continue to debate whether or not the company should be split, whether its chip-making business should be spun off from its patent licensing business. However, what investors really should be paying attention to is a recent decision from the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit that might call into question exactly how Qualcomm makes all of its money. So how does Qualcomm make its money? Well, on the one hand, Qualcomm has a chip-making business, and on the other hand, it has a patent licensing business. Whereas the chip-making business generates most of Qualcomm's revenue, it's actually Qualcomm's patent licensing business that generates most of its profits. But Qualcomm does not just license any old type of patents, it actually licenses what are called standard essential patents. When you license standard essential patents, you're obligated to do so under reasonable and non-discriminatory terms. It's also known as RAND terms. The basic premise behind RAND licensing is that a company is not allowed to overcharge for standard essential patents. So is Qualcomm overcharging for its standard essential patents? Well, that's exactly what the recent decision from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals addressed. So what was that case about? Well, the case was between Microsoft and Motorola. And like Qualcomm, Motorola also licenses standard essential patents. In that case in particular, Motorola went to Microsoft and said, we want to license a portfolio of our standard essential patents to you, and we want a few dollars for every Xbox that you sell. However, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals said, no way, that's way too much. In order for Motorola to comply with its RAND obligations, it's only entitled to a few cents for each Xbox sold. Now, the difference between a few dollars and a few cents for every Xbox sold is on the order of a few billion dollars. So why should investors care about this decision with respect to Qualcomm? Well, rumor has it that Qualcomm, like Motorola, also charges a few dollars for every product that its licensees sell. So in the case of Apple, the rumor is that Qualcomm gets $4 or $5 for every iPhone that is sold. If this new Ninth Circuit decision holds, what that means is that Qualcomm may no longer be entitled to $4 for every iPhone sold, but it may only be entitled to a few cents sold. That means that a lot of Qualcomm's licensees that are licensing its standard essential patents may drag Qualcomm back to the negotiating table and demand a write-down in a lot of the licensing terms. So basically, for Qualcomm, this decision calls into question its bottom line, the very profit center of its standard essential patents. Now, the final wrinkle here is that Qualcomm generates most of its profits from licensing to just a handful of licensees. Those are primarily the phone makers like Apple and Samsung and so forth. Those phone makers are well aware of this decision, and it's very likely that they're going to bring Qualcomm back to the table and force it to renegotiate some of its licensing terms. If they do that, that may call into question Qualcomm's bottom line. This has been a Markman Minute. My name is Zach Silbersher. For more information, please visit MimesisLaw.com. Thanks.